WERP Studios presents Cleveland, Ohio's own Goldmine Players radio troupe in a Bartleby Tompkins production of The Furthering Affairs of Huntington P. Woolrich, starring Gregory Baumgartner in his original role. Before we start the first act of tonight's Huntington story, the makers of Gilchrist beer wish to remind you that though you may not be able to get a Gilchrist every time you want it in these days of grain restrictions, it is well worth your while to keep asking. For every bottle you do get will continue to live up to its name. And speaking of grain restrictions, not a single grain of wheat is being used in the brewing of beer and ale. And the grains that are being used by breweries are not the grains wanted for famine relief. Now let me repeat, when you do get Gilchrist beer, you can be sure this truly great beer will be, as always, the happy blending of never less than 33 fine brews. As always, blended splendid Gilchrist beer. And now, Bartleby Tompkins, Goldmine Players presents Part 2 of The Dead Stay Dead No Longer.
What is it, Mr. Woolrich? I can't see nothing.
Ava, my only love, what's happened to you?
Miss Ramona, she's
Gone! What's happened to her body?
It's missing.
Traxton Metals, how may I direct your call?
This is Huntington Woolrich. Get Mr. Traxton on the line straight away.
I'm sorry, Mr. Woolrich, but Mr. Traxton is in the middle of an
I
important...
said get that egg on the phone now.
What is it, Shirley?
I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Traxton, but Mr. Woolrich is on the line, and he insists on speaking with you.
All right, I will take it in here. Hello, Mr. Woolrich. I wasn't expecting to hear back from you so soon.
Close your head, Traxton, you lying mutt. I ain't your patsy. Tell me where Ava is before I come down there and beat it out of you.
Wait a minute. Calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. What have you done with her? I might be out of the private dick racket, Traxton, but that doesn't mean I can't have you thrown in the slam for a 3-spot. Breaking and entering, destruction of private property, disturbing the dead. Should I keep going?
Slow down, Woolrich. You're giving me a headache. What's happened? Where are you?
I don't know what kind of stunt you're trying to pull here, Traxton, but you're in way over your head on this one.
Hello? Woolrich? Hello?
Hey, buddy, easy with the horn. It's brand new. I'm not paying you to run your mouth, Johnny. I'm paying you to wet mine. Now get me a hooker of the strong stuff, double quick.
You shouldn't talk to Mr. Traxton that way, Mr. Woolrich. He's not somebody you want to cross.
Franklin, why don't you go tell your boss that the deal's off?
What?
And then you can tell him to go to hell. And as long as he's going, you can tag along. Good night, Johnny. Put my drinks on Franklin's tab for me.
Where do you think you're going?
First, I'm going to find a better dive with some better eel juice. And then I'm going to go tighten the screws on that boss of yours.
You're not going anywhere without me, Mr. Woolrich. Mr. Traxton's orders are specific.
I said beat it, Franklin.
You might have been the #1 snoop around here, Woolrich, but that was a long time ago. Now, you're just a burned-out booze hound. Frankly, I don't know what Mr. Traxton sees in you.
Why don't you come over here and find out, tough guy?
Break it up, hey, break it up, you bum!
You dicks are all alike, Woolrich. All talk and no moxie to back any of it up.
And you Brunos are a dime a dozen. All muscle, no brains.
Watch it, the guy's packing heat.
Put the gun away, Woolrich. We can...
Close it yet, Buster, or I squirt metal.
Easy. Take it easy with that thing, Woolrich.
Give a message to Mr. Traxton for me, Franklin.
What message?
This one.
Ah!
Damn it, Woolrich, you're certifiable.
You shot me in the leg.
You were right, Franklin. Talk is cheap. Sorry about the mess.
Metroville Police Department, this is Sergeant Holliday. What? When? At Johnny's Tavern? All right, sit tight and I'll send a unit over immediately. Weinberg, we've got shots fired at Johnny's Tavern. 1 man injured. And get this, the suspect is Huntington Woolrich.
Huntington, you're soaking wet. Come in, come in.
Hello, Scafidi. How are the bangtails running this year?
Huntington, you know I don't take bets on the ponies no more. I have you to thank for that. Nope, no more gambling for the scaffer. I'm a straight arrow now, with a straight business. Selling hardware is my new racket. I traded in the cards and the dice for the hand tools and plumbing supplies.
Don't worry, Scafidi. I ain't a shamus no more. I gave up the sleuthing when Ava was killed.
Ah, shucks, Huntington. I'm sorry about Ava. She was a beautiful woman. I'm sorry I wasn't at her funeral.
Forget it. I don't expect my A1 snitch to mingle with the coppers in public view. I got your card. It was nice.
Listen, Hunt, I don't snitch no more for anybody, see? Not since I went legit. I'm a respectable businessman now. So unless you're here for hardware supplies...
Can the egg, Scafidi. Once a snitch, always a snitch in my book. And a greater swindler I never knew. Nice touch with the hardware store. Good front for Metroville's best can opener.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hunt.
That's right. I heard about that box job you pulled the week after Ava died. I guess that's why you couldn't make the funeral. Too busy cracking safes at the Osby County Depository.
Well, how did you...
You might have been my A1 snitch, Scafidi, but that don't mean you're the only one I got in my pocket. So why don't we lay all our cards out on the table? I'm sure you still got a couple decks behind that counter, don't you?
All right, Hunt. What do you want from me?
How about information for starters? Like, what do you know about Alistair Traxton?
Traxton? He's in the metals. A stinking rich beau who's got his hand up a lot of skirts in Metroville.
And?
That's all I know.
And what about Harvey Nordlinger?
Nordlinger? Never heard of him.
You're sweating, Scafidi. You know something I want. Now cough it up.
You're tooting the wrong ringer, Hunt. I ain't got nothing for you.
Now listen, you. You keep stringing me along and that boat you call a belly is gonna spring a few leaks.
Listen, Hunt. I'm on the square about Nordlinger. I never heard of the guy before.
Then give me all you got on Traxton. What's the skinny?
I can't. He'll kill me.
What do you think I'm gonna do? Now spill.
All right, Hunt. Ease off. Traxton, he's got stool pigeons all over the city. Informants, snitches, the works. And not just rats like me, but real people. He's got sleuths running errands for him, shyster lawyers, even congressmen. Traxton can afford anybody he wants.
So where do you fit in all this, Scafidi?
Traxton caught wind of something coming through town, something valuable. He didn't even say what it was. He just said that he needed it, and it was being well protected. Whatever it was being kept in an indestructible container. Airtight, bulletproof, fireproof, the whole nine. He had the date and time of when it was going to be dropped off for safekeeping.
Go on.
So the container was going to be kept in a lockbox until further notice. Traxton called me personally.
So that's where you were the week after Ava died.
That's right, Hunt. Traxton bankrolled the Osby job.
And you made the delivery?
Of course, but it wasn't no picnic. Had to be a soup job. The safe was about the toughest I'd ever seen, so we had to bring in the nitroglycerin.
Nitro ain't easy to come by.
Not for Mr. Traxton. Like I said, he's got all the grease in the world to keep his wheels turning. But yeah, we made the delivery. I don't know nothing about what was in the container, though. All I know is that it had a combination on it, and there was no opening it without that number.
Good boy, Scaffer. You did real good. I just need one more thing from you.
Ah, geez, Hunt. I already gave you everything I got.
Give me the keys to your bucket out back.
Huntington Woolrich! This is the Metroville Police! Come out with your hands in the air!
That concludes tonight's thrilling adventure with Huntington P. Woolrich. Tune in next week at the same time on this station to hear The Furthering Affairs of Huntington P. Woolrich. Tonight's episode was brought to you by Blended Splendid Gilchrist Beer, the happy blending of never less than 33 fine brews. Ask for a Gilchrist today.